if I'm hanging on here 1 minute and then I fall on the ground, somebody at the back will scream. All right, you look that way, and Josh will come and prop me back up. So we'll be fine. We'll smash through this. We'll be great, you know.
If you do, I'll come dashing right at you and
Oh,
help you.
lovely, eh?
Where's Josh?
He's not even here to help me, you know. I'm going to fall on the dog tray. It's all going to be bad.
Pillow.
It's
good.
Can you get you off?
All right.
Josh! Why don't you here?
He's fine. I'll be right. You good? All right. So, who knows what letter we are up to?
Knowing.
Knowing the letter, guys. We know the alphabet.
My favourite
A, B, C, D, knowing. I don't know where that fits in the alphabet, Mary. K. All right. Spoiler, you know. So we have been going through, of course, those of you who are new this evening, we have been doing a series. Thanks to Rory, you know. The series is called Talking. And it's all about unpacking our emotions, how they can block us and stop us from doing everything in our life sometimes, really. And so we have gone through, who can remember what T stood for?
talking.
No?
Telling it.
Yes, telling. So
A is archiving and L was listening.
A was what?
Archiving.
Archiving. L was
Listening.
listening. That was Mary last week, yeah?
Beautiful, beautiful Mary.
Well, we've got some special leaders that are going to be sharing over the next couple of weeks too, that are going to get up and have a crack at it. So, which is going to be cool. It's going to be fun to listen to those guys unpack this series. But tonight we're going to talk about knowing emotion. How many of you know your emotions?
Happy, sad.
That's it. Happy and sad. Yeah. Yeah, angry, happy, sad, angry. They're the three emotions, you know. Eh?
Get frustrated, scared, grumpy.
Nice. Okay, the challenge for us is quite simply in knowing our emotions is, I don't know about you, but right through my life, I think sometimes my emotions have actually lied to me.
Yes.
There have been times when I've felt a certain way about something, and when I actually get into that environment, it could be like going to a new school, you know, or it could be going for a job or meeting new friends or something like. I get this real anxious moment of feeling like they're not going to like me, I'm not going to fit in, this is going to be no good, and then you actually step into that environment and you have this totally different experience. Have you ever had that?
Yes.
Yep. I've had good and bad, not that by the way, you know. Sometimes I was right and sometimes they were wrong. So sometimes our emotions actually do lie. They do trick us into thinking. So just going on emotion to make a decision about something is not always a smart decision. So you have to have knowledge or experience. And sometimes if we good? You're all good? Yeah? Oh, the restarting of technology, you know. They'll catch up. Are we good? You tell me when we're good.
Looks like it's alright.
It's working?
I think so.
Welcome back.
Yes.
You were looking at Tyler's hand there for some time, but those of you who understand that will figure that out later. All right, so it's important that we move from just feeling into knowing stuff so that when you go to make a decision about something in your life, especially when it comes to trying to understand how to unblock the emotions that you feel like, yeah, why does this thing just keep coming up and up and up and up again, over and over and over? I call it going around the mountain. You know, why does this thing keep coming around and around? Why do I keep struggling with anger? Why does it just keep coming up and up and up? Why is it I keep getting sad and feeling sad all the time, sad and never getting glad, you know, and or mad? So there's a great movie that's come out, and I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Inside Out.
Yes. There's mixed emotions in there too.
I know there's mixed emotions in there, you know. But you know what's cool? I love those characters. Don't you love those characters? Yeah?
Joy, angry.
Yeah, I like the angry guy, you know.
Same.
Yeah, I think Envy was there, and she used anger one time to burn a hole through the side of the building to let the other couple of emotions back in. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
That was disgust.
Oh, was she disgust? Is she disgust?
Fear and sadness.
Ah, yeah, right.
And
Good.
joy.
And disgust, because she put the welder's helmet on. Yeah, nice. Good job, disgust. And so the challenge in that movie is, I love it because people in movie land are smart. They've figured that what they could do is they could take an emotion, they could.
Sorry.
Oh my God. How rude.
We could put it into a colour, and we could also make it a character. Now, the thing I love about that movie and the way it makes it a character is that that's exactly what you can do to your emotions. In order sometimes to get control of them, you can actually make them a character that you have control of. But sometimes we feel like we're out of control. Have you ever had someone say that to you? I just can't control my emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah? I can't control my anger. I can't control my passion. I can't control myself, whatever it is. Right, Eb? Yeah, just staring. So, we're talking about emotion. No, I'm not going to embarrass you anymore. So, do emotions have colours?
Yes.
Apart from the movie, don't go back to the movie, but do emotions have colours?
Yes.
I need a pen. Got a pen. Someone got a pen. Throw me a pen.
It's actually scientifically proven that seeing certain colours makes someone feel certain things. So, say painting the walls green, it will help soothe you when you're sleeping.
Now, so you told me that green was the colour of vomit, but
Yes,
now it's soothing.
Hey, it's different.
So if we vomed all over our walls, that would be very soothing.
Green is an unappealing colour for food, so is purple, but those colours can also help calm people.
Oh.
But everyone has different colours that help calm them and how it make them feel different emotions. Like
Cool.
seeing the colour pink could make people feel love, and seeing the colour pink could make them feel so out of controllably angry they want to kill everyone.
Yeah. Whew, you got that. I love that. Right. Anybody else got a no more emotion colour for you? You're giving me a package. I'm going back here.
You can't
I
judge.
know. Anybody else got a colour for an emotion?
Red is angry.
Red is angry.
It's happy for me.
Right. Unless you were Bon Jovi and said have a nice day.
Yellow is happy.
Hey.
Yellow would be happy.
Yellow would be happy.
What's that, magenta?
I think. Is it? Well, the smiley face is, and the sun is normally yellowy gold colour, so it's happy.
Everyone.
And for some people, when they're called yellow, it means they're what?
A yellow belly.
Yeah, they're
A
chicken. Yeah. Josh.
Yellow.
Blue would be depression.
Blue could be depression, or it could be.
Grey.
What? Grey could be depression. Is that what you mean? Yeah, grey could be depression. Blue. Yeah.
Blue could be grey.
Yeah, Holly.
Purple's unsure.
Unsure. Nice. Interesting. Unsure and royalty. Purple. Isn't that amazing? So two extremes. Yeah. Blue is what did you say, Josh?
Depression.
Depression and calm. When I need to be calmed, I like to go to the beach. If I need to sort of chill out a bit, I like to go to the beach, look at the water, and the blue and the sky, and everything's like, oh, lovely. It makes me feel really zen. Yeah.
Yellow is also anxious and annoyed.
Anxious and annoyed. Oh,
Yeah.
see, there we go.
So
But not for Tamsin. For Tamsin, it's
Yeah.
happy. You're keeping it to happy, all right? It's happy for you.
I
All
love the
right.
colour yellow.
Excuse me.
Does that make you happy?
All right. What are some of the not so common emotions? We just mentioned there, happy, sad, anger, fear. What are some of the not so common ones? Now, this is particularly challenging for men, for males to get, because women tend to have quite a large grouping of words that they can describe their emotions, where blokes just go, ugh. Yeah? Holly?
Jealousy.
Jealousy, yep. Is that yours? Did she pitch yours? Take another one, yeah.
Confusion.
Confusion, yep.
Emptiness.
Emptiness, excellent, yeah, cool.
Mine was empty, but it's okay. Bless
There's that
you.
sneeze again.
What about
Envy? Yeah, absolutely. Yep, Suze?
Ambivalence.
Ambivalence, yeah. Yeah, that's a cool word, that. You know what it means? It means how I feel right about now. That's how it feels about when I'm about to barf. Yeah.
I forgot what it was, sorry.
You forgot what it was?
Yeah, you said just
Yeah. Thank you.
That was a good one. I can't think of it now. Sorry.
It's okay, we'll come back. Yeah, James?
Sentimental.
Yep. That kind of melancholy. Or if you're from that show, what was it called? Melancholy? Yeah.
Despair.
Hey? Despair? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
excited.
Excited. Yeah, and sometimes, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up too, and there's been times when I've felt angry about something. My brother will come into my room, he'll, use my stuff, and all of a sudden we're heading out, and he's got my shirt on, and I'm going, what? you know? And he goes, you know, and because he was bigger than me, he could run quicker or beat the crap out of me, one of the two, you know, and so, or both. And so he would take my shirts or stuff like that, and I'd get angry that somebody had gone into my room without asking me any, and I would try to figure out, why am I getting angry and why do I want to punch him through the wall right now? Now, anger for men, and a lot for women too, but more so for men, anger has been seen as an evil thing. Anger is quite simply a very pure emotion that is there, that's like a trigger. It's a bit like if the, it's a
It's a
button.
wage event.
It's a what?
A wage event.
Okay.
You know, like.
No. So in here, there is a, we have smoke alarms detected in here, right? Somewhere, over there. There are smoke alarms in this building, right? So when a smoke alarm goes off, what does it detect?
Smoke.
Does it detect flame?
No.
No, it's usually too late. If it's detecting flame, it's usually melted and it's not a very good smoke alarm, you know. It should be called a fire alarm at that point and not a smoke alarm, yeah? So, or flame alarm. I don't even know. Is there such a thing, Josh? Is there a flame alarm? A flame alarm.
Say that really fast, keep going.
Flame alarm, flame alarm, flame alarm, flame.
Play my arm.
There's like flame, you know, anyway. So anyway, the challenge is quite simply this, right? When we teach anger management in school, we call it, the program's called Cool It. And it really is a matter of understanding that when a smoke alarm goes off, it detects even the fragrance of burnt toast. All right, like if you're ever in the kitchen and you burn your toast, it's like, oh, that damn smoke alarm, and you know you got your tea towel out there, or you've whipped your sock off, and it's because you can't find the tea towel, whatever. No, I've never done that. No, oh, I've thrown my shoe at it a few times. Yeah, yeah, same. Yeah, nice. I've thrown the dog at it a couple of times. It didn't work, you know. Yeah, not that dog. I had a big dog. Yeah. So the challenge for us is quite simply is that we need to recognise that something is wrong. That's what anger does. Anger tells you quite quickly, within a split second, something is wrong. Something that's important to you is being violated in some way. Now, that could be, for me, it was my clothing. My brother entered my room, take my stuff. He was violating my privacy, you know, my sanctum, my clothing, my wardrobe, you know, without any care. And so, for you guys, it can be quite simply that... and then by looking at your emotion and going, all right, I want to kill this guy, it's what we do with the anger determines what kind of person you're going to be. For young men who deal with, who struggle with understanding what's going on in their mind, and we talk about how to process back from that boiling point in anger management, all the way back to understanding what triggered it, what was the smoke, what was the thing, you know, that went off. It's a bit like going up to the intersection and pushing the crossing button. How many of you are very impatient with that? Everyone in the room, so am I. You know, I look at that and I push it and the red light comes on. The minute I press it, that red light comes on. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
So?
I know. So, it means 15 more times. You know? And the problem is, don't make it go any faster. It makes me feel better, you know. I know if I keep pressing, see, changed it, you know. But if I just pushed it once, and I have tested myself at times to see if I could be not that addicted, you know, and pushed it once, and then I know, it's a bit like that, it's you know, and then I'm pushing people towards it, nudge it, you know. I even did that, I was wherever we were the other, during the week with Beck, we were crossing the street, and I said to her, push the button, she goes, it's already red. I said, yeah, push again. She goes, it's red. It's already been pushed. And I thought, so I leaned across and pushed it. You know,
Good you were.
It's like in Brazil, like you press the button and you get like 3 or 4 other people that have walked up like probably 2 minutes after they press the button again and again and again.
Yeah.
Each person keeps walking up to the satellites and keeps pressing it, even though the button's still red.
yeah. Because you've got to have your button pushing moment. That's what I reckon, you know. We live in Australia, yeah? Yeah, so the challenge for us is sometimes is by when we experience a certain emotion, we don't trace it back to figure out where that's going to be, where it came from. So, for example, you might have been invited to a party, or maybe you haven't been invited to a party and you wondered why you were not invited to this particular party. And so you begin to work through all these emotions of rejection, of humiliation, of what happened? Is that the dog? Did my dog fart? One for Calvin, you know. He's just checking your emotions right now to make sure.
So your nose. He wants to make sure that they work properly.
Sinuses.
Ah, yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
Who taught him this?
That's good stuff. So oh, you have spray?
Don't spray it anywhere near me.
Asthmatics.
I know, Calvin. What can I say, son? You know, it's beautiful. So, come on, let's stay on track. So the challenge for us is quite simply, like you might have been invited to or not invited to a party, and you start to go through all these emotions. Now, the one emotion you might first feel is anger. Like, why? Why was I not? You know, and then you start to get on Facebook, and then when you start to realise and you start to sift back what that means, at the end of the day, it could be rejection, could be left out, it could be sadness. You know, it's like, you know, you feel insecure. Betrayed. All those emotions are all real, and they all wrap up into one expression out here of what you do. So by the end of this, I'm going to give you a little tip on how to control different emotions before they get out there and cause a lot of pain. All right. So now here's another interesting thing. Analysis has shown that our body actually carries emotions in different places. For example, sadness happens mostly in your chest, your throat and your face. Right, so when you get sad, if I was at a funeral, what do?
Cry.
You cry. What happens to you? What happens to your throat? Yeah, you get that choked up feeling.
Your chest tightens. It feels like your heart is actually breaking.
Yeah. So when I get sad, I don't normally feel it in my gut, although there are times, depending on if it's deep sadness, but normally, and when people have done the analysis on the physiology of your body and how it reacts, it shows that sadness sort of happens within your chest, your neck and your face. That's sort of where that happens. You know, the interesting part about fear tends to happen from the top half of your body up. Isn't that weird? Now, the only part about that is when you know, you get that sensation of going weak at the knees. You know, in a few weeks' time, I'm hoping to be walking on hot coals. In Sydney, I'm going to a conference up there with a friend of mine, and we're going to be walking across hot coals. I think I'm going to be a little bit weak at the knees at that moment, but I hope I've got good knees at the end, you know, so I can run across these hot puppies, you know. So we'll see. You'll see it live anyway. We'll see what happens. So, and that's about challenging fear, about going against fear. And so fear happens from your belly up. Now, the interesting part is, our emotions live in our brain. Of course, they live in our heart, but they live in our brain. And there's an interesting part, and if I've never explained this to you before, this was something that was so insightful for me in helping grow my young fellas up, my sons, and help other parents and young people understand the emotional development and the logical development of your brain. From about 13, or, you know, if you were an early developer, let's say 9, you know, when you started developing puberty, yeah, your emotional brain starts developing from the back of your skull. So you take this finger, right, put it at the back of your skull, right? That's where your emotional brain starts developing. Then your logical brain, take your other finger, right, put it on the front of your forehead, right?
I'm not hitting the phone.
Do you know why I only want to do that to you, though? So you guys all doing that. You'll look so beautiful. You know, so the challenge is your brain, your emotional brain starts developing from around the age of 12 at the back of your brain, back of your skull. And your logical brain starts kicking in around 23 to 25, and it works back the way. So that by the time you're, let's say your mid-20s, mid to late 20s, both parts of your brain have developed emotionally, yeah?
Is that the same for guys and girls?
Yeah. It tends to develop quicker for girls, you know, than for boys, because there's no testosterone cutting the brain in bits. Soz the blokes, you know. But it also makes it challenging for blokes to try and connect words to emotions. They just feel stuff and sometimes don't know. And when you say to a guy, what do you feel? I don't know. You know, that just meant, oh, I'm having a really lovely day. And so I don't know what it means. It's something, it's bloke language. They figured it out. So the challenge for us is in your brain. Now, the interesting part about your development, if your emotional brain is developing from here and your logical brain is developing from here, by the time you're in your mid-20s, most of your emotional decisions in your adolescence has been made out of what space? Yeah, your emotional logic. That's around 24. So those of you that are around 24, you kind of got those things happening together. But here's the trick. Take this finger again. No, seriously. Take this finger again.
Serious?
No, seriously. Take this finger. No.
This one?
And see this, see your earlobe? Right, in your earlobe there? Press right in underneath your earlobe there. Right in there. Deep in there. Can you feel that in there? Feel that? If that's tension in there, you need to go and get a good massage. But, right in the centre of your brain is this little thing. Do this. Point. Go like this to me. Like this. I want you to hold up a shape of an almond. Right. That's about the size of an almond. Right. There's this point in your brain called the amygdala. Now, the amygdala is the size of an almond. It sits right in the centre of your brain, and it's about the size of an almond. A bit smaller, Oh, is mine too big? Small almond.
Nah, about like a baby.
Well, it depends on which shop you go to, mate. So sorry. Yeah. Free range almonds, So let's not get stuck on the almond. Let's get stuck on the amygdala, because here's the thing. With your emotional brain developing and your logical brain developing, they cross through this thing called the amygdala. Now, the amygdala is your fear centre. So everything passes through this little nut, and will determine how you see the stuff in front of you, whether you're going to go for it or whether you're not. Now, the interesting part about the amygdala is the more fear you give it, the stronger it becomes. The less you give it fear, the weaker it becomes, and it means that you can experience more joy in your life and more health in your life. Isn't that amazing? Just scanning your brain. So, guys, if you understand that your brain is, and a lot of your responses up to about the age of 24, it doesn't mean you're not intelligent. It just means a lot of it is how you feel. So if you make a decision about something and somebody says to you, why'd you do that? I said, I felt all right. Wasn't hurting anybody. Nah, I don't feel like doing that. Mum says to you, can you put the bins out? Nah, not feeling it. She goes, just put the bins out.
That's your job.
Or you're going to feel something, I'm going to come at you with a stick with nails, so, maybe that was my upbringing, but whatever, so. Leave it alone. So here's the interesting thing. The amygdala responds in 15 milliseconds. The minute you get to make a decision about something or go to make a decision about something, the amygdala makes a decision or makes a response in 15 milliseconds. The logical part of your brain takes 200 milliseconds to come to the same decision-making process. Isn't that weird? So, 15 milliseconds to 200 milliseconds is going to determine the difference between whether you make an emotional decision about something or a logical decision about something.
What if you still can't make a decision?
Phone a friend. Or don't make a decision. I always said, a friend of mine said to me, if you can't make a decision, then don't. Then just don't make one.
What if it's like about eating food that night or not?
Well, that would be death. So that would be a good decision tick. So here's the thing, guys. For you to understand emotions, know your emotions, all the emotions, and there are hundreds of different emotions at different times in our day and in our week. You have to know that what's controlling that emotion. Because if you don't get control of it, and if you feed the wrong part of your brain, it will control your emotions over and over and over, and it'll become a stronger muscle. It'll control your decisions, emotional decisions, and you wonder why you feel so emotional all the time, or why you get so hurt so easy, rejected so easy, why you feel so lonely all the time, all those other words I think you said there before. Why do you feel all those things? Because you have not learned how to, or you haven't understood that everything that you're basing your decisions on is out about how you feel or how it's going to make you feel. You put a new dress on or a new outfit on, and you go out to somebody and say, "What do you think?" And they go, "Oh, that looks great." And you go, instantly do you do?
Talk yourself down.
Yeah. Nah.
Believe them.
Nah. Now you might have looked in the mirror and go, "I look banging." Yeah, well, good, whatever, When you saw that and you walked out for everybody's approval, but because you gave that little pulse, boom, in that 15 milliseconds to that little amygdala centre, all of a sudden you came out and you were about to experience fear right at that point. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll reject myself first before I get rejected from my friends. I'll talk myself down first before. Then what happens if you come out and just go,
And everyone just goes, yeah, no.
everybody, what would everybody do?
Yeah, no.
See?
Yeah.
So you're almost stuffed either way, aren't you? So imagine if we could be people that could just say, that is totally hot. You look great.
You look bitchin'.
Sets out, yep, that one, You can say that, So, a lot of time we can spend a lot of energy and our time chasing what I call the fruit. Right? Now the fruit of an emotion could be something simply as, Phil gets angry, he punches holes in walls. So Phil, you've got to stop punching holes in the walls. Phil, why is it you get angry? Why do you keep punching the holes in the walls?
Paying for the walls.
No, you couldn't punch a hole in this wall, it's concrete. But, so why do you keep punching holes in the wall? Rather, the better question is trying to trace back where's the anger coming from. So we talk about this fruit, of our emotions, the stuff that sort of hangs out there, rather than looking at root cause. What is causing most of our issues to come from? And you know what? It's quite simple. It's very simple. People look really complex at all these, all these different issues of why we do the things we do, why we feel what we feel. It's because we've got two things going on. Self-esteem is one of the first and most critical issues for any human being. How you feel about you. So we have all these emotions that are like a bouquet of flowers that cover this core thing about our self-esteem, or our self-worth, if you want to call it that, And the second part is our significance as individuals. Are we significant people? And we will search our entire lives to get those needs met, those messages met. You will get into relationship after relationship. You will look after every guy. You will look after every girl. You will look after the same sex. I don't care what it is. You'll look at outfits. You'll look at the latest PlayStation stuff, Xbox, whatever it is, the latest phone, whatever it is. It'll become so hungry and consuming in your world to have the latest this or that, or be with the hottest person here or there, because of your own sense of self-worth, because of your own significance. So knowing our emotions and knowing what triggers us, knowing that when we're at school and we misbehave and the teacher sends us to detention, and we get angry about that, well, we just got to own it. We just got to own it, because you didn't deliberately go out to do something, but the reality is you might have come from home where mum and dad might have had an argument, so you brought that to school and you're just playing it out at school. But because you're going to look at the teacher, oh, I hate that teacher, it's got nothing to do with the teacher. It's got to do with what you carried in back here, because you were feeling unsure, insecure, because you were feeling uncertain about what was happening at home. We were sitting in a class last week and one of the girls shared with us exactly that. She was, you can have a little disco back there with that light going on. And one of the girls shared about her family environment. It's just crazy environment that she came to school looking so happy. She was like that. I thought, oh man, that's
Hiding her real emotions.
Totally. I don't know how many of us done that. So guys, the challenge this week, in order for you to... So I said to you at the start I was going to give you a strategy on how to actually keep this in check. Now, if you came to me today and say, Phil, I can't control my emotions, well, okay, that could be true. Now, this is what you need to do. You need to take what I call an emotional log. An emotional log is where you just simply take your phone, and you might have the notes section there, and you might just take down the different times that you feel different ways in situations over a period of time. So you might take a week, you might take a month to actually track good, bad and indifferent, sort of feelings and emotions, because it's only by doing a little bit of research can we actually pinpoint how to actually give you some strategies to control that. If you're always like manic and it's just like the world is crazy, it would be worthwhile doing a log. It would worthwhile be doing an emotional log. If you're sick and tired of feeling this up and down roller coaster of your emotions, or that you're always getting rejected or accepted or pushing or striving to get other people's approval or acceptance, do an emotional log. Just log how you're feeling at different times throughout the day and throughout the week, and just try and figure out. I'm happy you can come back and speak to your pack members, and they'll have a look at it, and if they can't analyse it with you and help you, then I'll have a chat with you and I'll come into your pack and we'll talk it through. To look at how you can actually get a bit more control on understanding that emotions are not bad. Emotions are good. It's called signs of life, Emotions are good. One type of emotion is a little bit unhealthy, Always being happy is not necessarily bad, but it can be a bit, kind of lacking.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, because you can have moments where you're a little bit calmer, where you're a little bit reflective, it's totally okay. So, guys, this week, as you go into your pack, you might feel like, as we've gone back through telling, archiving, listening and knowing, that's only 4 that we've done so far. We got 3 to go. This is such a cool series. I go back through these notes throughout the week. We talk about it in the leadership team. I just love it. I love knowing where my emotions come from. I don't always get them right. I don't always get them in check. But if you know that your amygdala in there, right, deep inside your brain, there's this little almond that's controlling how much fear or how little fear that you experience in your life, then this week, how about you squeeze the crap out of that almond, How about you just take it and you say, you know what, fear, you're not going to have control this week. You're not going to have control in this moment. You might not say a week, you might not say a month, you might just say tomorrow. I'm just not going to let fear manage me tomorrow. I'm going to think positive, I'm going to speak positively all day, whatever that looks like. And for those of you who do have that kind of challenge with your emotions, getting them to kind of rein in a little bit, right? Do an emotional log just for you. Just write down how you're feeling, why you're up, why you're down, what's going on, how you felt when someone said something to you. You might have just brushed it off. Oh man, I got really rejected, really cut. What was going on there? I was feeling really insecure, my self-worth. I'm not the right size, the right shape, the right whatever. So guys, this week, and for you, this is a great series. It's unpacking people. We've got people all around the world who are live streaming with us that are asking us questions throughout the week, which is just terrific. And so from this series, from Rory, who suggested this series, you're helping people all around the world, my boy. So it's good stuff. So as you go into your packs, this week, it's all about knowing. Know your emotions. Just don't feel them. Know them. And then you can understand how to control them a bit more, yeah? So do a emotion log this week. Let's go into packs. Good stuff.